Our next video this week is on the UC tag system, and the tag is the Transfer Admission Guarantee. So let me show you where you can find that information on the Transfer Center website. And some of you have already looked at this, but let me just give you some specific details. So here under Special Programs is the tag link. And so once you come in here, you can see information on the UC tag program. So there are 6 campuses that participate in the tag. You'll notice that UC Berkeley, UCLA, and UC San Diego do not participate. So you can tag to one campus and you tag 1 year prior to transfer. So the tag application process is the month of September, and then you apply during regular admissions to your tag campus as well as any other campus that you want to get admissions to. So the tag application is September 1st through the 30th, and you, again, do it to one campus. And so if you apply your tag to UC Davis, and you then apply through regular admissions to UCLA, and you get into UCLA, you can tell Davis, thank you very much, but I'm going to go to UCLA, and that's fine to do. You are not stuck with your tag campus, so keep that in mind. The tag major and the major for the regular UC application to the same tag school has to be the same. So if you tag to UC Davis as a bio major, you have to apply as a bio major. You couldn't tag as biology and then apply as animal science. The tag would be void, okay? But you can apply to other campuses as a different major. That's totally fine. So what we do every summer is update the tag information into SRJC language. So we feel that this helps students to have a clear understanding of what it is that they need to do. So we start with our tag steps. Excuse me. And so reviewing the criteria to make sure that you qualify, because the tag is meant for highly qualified California community college students. It is not for high school students or students at an out-of-state campus or a CSU or something like that. We offer workshops throughout the month of September to assist students through the process. You'll complete your tag application, and if you're applying to UC Davis, SRJC counselors review your tag before it goes all the way to Davis, so you want to check your email, and then you apply to the University of California system during the month of November. Then the transfer admission planner is really helpful. Why did that happen? That was strange. All right, let me just UC tag matrix. What happened to that link? Okay, here's the matrix. And what this does is gives you specific information for each of the tag schools. This information can change yearly. So they tend to update the information between May and August. The majority of the schools get it in May, June. Santa Cruz is usually the slowest. But this is fine to look at now if you're not going to tag for a year or two. But just know that the year you're going to tag, you need to look at the current criteria to make sure that you still qualify. So there's questions going across the top, and then the answers for each of the individual campuses. So a couple things to pay attention to is the GPA requirements. So for example, for UC Davis, for the College of Engineering, you need a 3.5, and last year it was a 3.2. So that's a pretty big jump. They gave a heads up for about 2 years. They didn't just, flip a switch and change it. So they were informing counselors as well as students of that change that was going to be coming down. But if you're applying to a psych major and doing a tag, you need a 3.2. So each campus sets their own GPA requirement. Irvine 3.4. Merced, it varies by school, as does Riverside. Santa Barbara and Santa Cruz at this point allow students to use fall grades to meet the GPA criteria. So that's something to keep in mind. You have to have 30 UC semester units completed at the time of your tag. So again, paying particular attention to those limitations, especially if you are an athlete. Every single year during tag season, I meet with a student athlete who thinks they qualify to tag and they don't. They don't even qualify to apply because they don't have enough units. And so then we have to scramble to get them the amount of units that they need by the end of spring. So just keep that information in the back of your head about those limitations. Here they have when your UC English and UC Math have to be completed. So for Davis, you need both UC Englishes done by the end of fall to be able to tag. So for students for fall of 22, they had to have English 1A done. And if they were in their second English class, it had to be this semester, couldn't be in the spring. And then for math, it was also by the end of fall. For Irvine, they wanted UC Math by the end of summer, and they allowed end of summer for the first UCE class and end of spring for the second. So that is just another criteria that you want to look at and make sure that you meet that deadline, and getting your English and math done and out of the way early is a smart thing to do, not only for admissions, but for the tag as well. Oh, I see what I was doing. I was clicking on the wrong one. That's not going to work. All right, forget me. So then what I do is I take each of the campuses and I provide you specific information. So there's a tag tip sheet, a link to the website, and then the selective major requirements. So Davis and Santa Cruz have the most selective majors. So I mentioned psych earlier, so let's look at that one. So to tag to psych, you need that overall GPA of a 3.2. These are the UC Davis courses and their equivalents at SRJC, and you need an overall 2.9 for the entire group of courses. So that's Psych 1A, Math 15, or Psych 9. You could do Bio 2.1, or that would be it. You would take Bio 2.1 and be done. Or you can take one of these bios and Anthro 1. That's the most common. Or those bios and Physio 1. But Bio 2.1 and Physio 1 both have a prerequisite of Bio 10. So most students do what I've highlighted here. So you would want to check out the selective criteria for any of the campuses that you're applying for. So you can see here, Santa Barbara, there's only 4 majors that are selective. But then when we look at Santa Cruz, there's a whole list. So you'd want to pay attention to that. So the TAG program is an excellent opportunity for our transfer students, and I highly recommend, if you're UC bound, to be prepared for the TAG. You are going to fill out a UC TAP account to do that. If you are UC bound, I highly recommend you do the TAP account. I have a link in the resources for this week. You will be able to communicate then with UC reps. You'll get messages from myself about different events happening, different reps that are visiting SRJC. So that TAP account is really valuable.